Each year, Microsoft Research hosts hundreds of influential speakers from around the world, including leading scientists, renowned experts in technology, book authors, and leading academics, and makes videos of these lectures freely available.
Good afternoon. My name is Craig Halley, and I was the liaison for Art Center College of Design. This was actually my third time being a liaison to Art Center, and it was something I was especially proud to do. I'm an Art Center alumni, and I've been working at Microsoft for about 11 years now, and learned much of what I've been able to utilize here at Microsoft from Art Center, and have loved seeing the evolution of the interaction and design program there, gearing towards software. I was an industrial design student and just happened to kind of gear my own education toward that with the help from my professors. But anyway, it's really been a pleasure working with these students in particular this year and over the past 3 years. It is just very enjoyable to get out of my element a little bit and go down and visit Art Center and to speak with the students and really draw from their excitement and help to convey much of what I've learned here. It's a very gratifying experience for me, and I think the students also enjoy it. They enjoy hearing firsthand, what is it like to work in industry? What is Microsoft like? I think, as a student, I could relate myself to being very, very curious about that, and loved doing these sponsored projects that I was a part of, but there was no company like Microsoft, which was very large and very embedded and very influential in the software industry. And it's just been a great pleasure to work with these students and to see their enthusiasm for interaction design, for the theme that was given this year, and for Microsoft. And so I want to thank the organizers of the Expo and for the faculty at Art Center for being open to this and welcome and being such a pleasure to work with. So what I'd like to do briefly is just cover some of the projects that the team did, that the group, this class did, and then I'll hand it over to Todd, one of the instructors, who will elaborate a little bit more on the team that we chose to come up and present today. So one group of students did a project called The Neighborhood, and let me forward here, The Neighborhood. It was a project that connects seniors with volunteer children. It's always nice to see these very loving and caring and deeply embedded social services that the students come up with. Their angle was about breaking isolation and building social responsibility in our youth, and I thought that was a very good angle. And they were very thoughtful about the infrastructure and how the service behind this would work. They did a lot of really excellent research and gave a very thoughtful presentation. I thought they did a great job. This was Kathy Chen, Michelle Ung, and Miguel Anureta. The next project, Journey Share, Ku Shin and Sue Ho came up with a project that was about sharing transportation and coordinating and tracking rides together. And coming from LA, I know that this is something that is very top of mind for people, and with services alive and well out there today, thinking about this from a service meets social angle, I thought was very interesting, and is certainly well grounded in reality and the needs of society today. Their project involved things like real-time data and itinerary updates. It was very mobile and very deeply embedded with this idea of social, with member profiles and being able to find out about who is this person I'm going to ride with, and building up this idea of responsibility and trust and security among the community. I think it gave a very, very nice presentation. It was very clean. The UI they came up was very elegant, and so I give kudos to that group. The next project was called Reflect. These students were Nancy Chui, Nicolette Villar, Arthur Lung, and Ricardo Valero. This one was a very cool project. It involved, the idea was to digitize your wardrobe and connect it with a service that would allow you to virtually try on clothing, and then also have other people in society and professionals in the garment industry sort of critique what you want to wear, or make suggestions about you know, what you were thinking about, or based on the weather outside and where you were going. You know, it would pull things that it knew was in your wardrobe, or suggest like, hey, if you go down this boutique, you could get this thing. And you know, maybe the boutique owner was involved in that and would be your own personal shopper or something. So it was a cool project, I thought. And one of the neatest things that these students did was they actually built a full-scale prototype of how this device would work, and they used Natal-like interaction. So you would walk up to it, and you could hold your hands to it, and it would track on the screen where you were and sort of superimpose. I mean, it was kind of crude, but very, very delightful, and I was really impressed with how these students went in and they started writing code. They found snippets on the internet and actually put something together that was pretty close to working. So a great project, and I was really impressed with what those students did. The final project, Steps, and this is the project that you're going to learn more about today. This is the project that was chosen to come up. This is about an online resource and community for educators, involving lesson plan database, member profiles. Like the last project, these students really took on a very ambitious prototyping effort, and I was impressed and really pleased with the way that the students grasped the idea of actually taking their expertise as designers and really delving into kind of the technical side and thinking about it from a experience angle. What would it be like? What would be required to actually make a compelling user experience for people? And it was just a really great thing to see how the students came together and each tapped kind of their own expertise and what they brought to the table and worked together as a very, very strong unit to pull off a really wonderful presentation. And they've worked on it a little bit since then, and I think you'll be very, very pleased with what you see here today. With that, I want to hand it over to Todd, who has a little bit more to say about Steps. Thank you.
Great. Actually, just a few very quick comments before the team comes in. As an instructor, actually like Craig, I'm a fellow Art Center alum, product designer from the early 1990s. And Art Center is a design school, largely undergraduate design school. It's very much about creative expression, often as an individual. Service Meets Social is a project subject matter that speaks to pretty big ideas. And I think when you put together a room full of undergraduate graphic designers or product designers or mix them together, and you start coming up with big ideas, we really noticed that the guys found very quickly that they had to work together to get through that. I just wanted to say a couple of words about, the collaborative part of this. This particular team has been exceptionally good at it, unusually so for an undergraduate design school. They really did collaborate, and they would not have done it without a big, ambitious project to undertake. I think sort of on behalf of myself and my fellow faculty members, Steve and Brian, who are here, we really felt the strong desire to express that and thank Microsoft for the chance to throw a meaty project like that at us. And then just a quick word on the prototyping side of it, which Craig already alluded to. But we've seen more hands-on prototyping come out of this project than we've probably seen out of any undergraduate interaction design class at the school. And a lot of really good stuff. You'll see a little bit of it here, but I'd really encourage you guys to talk to the team at the Expo tomorrow and learn a bit more about the process. We're very proud of that too. So I think no further ado, let's have the guys come out, the team from Art Center Steps.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Rachel.
I'm Kevin.
Wayne.
Nancy.
Whitney.
And we're juniors studying graphic design at Art Center College of Design, located in Pasadena, California. So for Microsoft, we'd first like to thank Microsoft for giving us the opportunity to present today at the Design Expo. For the Microsoft Design Challenge Service Meets Social, we decided to focus on K through 12 education. So why did we decide to pick K through 12 education? Living in California, we kind of noticed that there's a pretty big problem with education of today. Some of the group members and I have family members who are teachers who are affected with the educational system of today. My brother had to change careers because it's most likely he wouldn't get a job after he graduated. Working at a high school for the past 2 years, I've seen teachers get pink slips. I saw the tension that grew between the new teachers who were, trying to really do a good job, while I saw the older teachers kind of be more laid back and chill about their work. And then with seeing the past few years with policies, we've noticed that they're fostering a more competitive nature between teachers, making them more protective of their materials. So with that, we decided to come up with STEPS. STEPS is an online resource and community for educators with lesson plan databases, member profiles, and a series of expandable applications and devices. STEPS brings networking to K through 12 education and allows innovative ideas to be shared beyond the classroom. So, having said that, we've done research where we try to see the competitors or other companies that are related to our area, and it's a fast-growing market. Having read the Seattle Times today, there's an article, Gates Foundation puts its stamps on education, where they put huge grants into from Seattle Foundation, where it's linking teachers' success. So education is relevant of today. So through finding companies with related subject matters, one that stood out most was Mobi by Marvell, who partnered up with one laptop per child to make affordable tablets for students around the globe. Having money be thrown at into money and technology being continually thrown into education, we're still not getting the results that we really want. So within education, we decided to go into the field and interview teachers and as well as students. Kevin's going to tell you a story about his mom, who is also a teacher.
So through our research, we conducted a couple of interviews with some elementary school teachers. And actually one of the teachers that we interviewed happened to be my mom, who just started her teaching career. She teaches 1st and 2nd grade. And my mom's usually a generous person, but she found herself that it's hard to come by these lessons and create lessons to be that unique person inside the teaching field. And what happens is she basically creates she created successful lesson plans. And when she found herself, when teachers come by and ask her if she could possibly share these lessons, I mean, she's a generous person, but she couldn't do it. Like, it's her job security, and she just tends to be, you're always worried about your job security. So you work really hard, and she doesn't feel secure by sharing all her hard work openly with everyone.
We also spent a day with kids. We wanted to see how young what age level steps can go to. So we went to the youngest of the young. We went straight to kindergarteners, and we spent a day to see how they interacted with technology and even like blank acrylic boards. With this, we realized that they're learning how to orient like letters. This girl, she wrote the alphabet backwards. So that was something interesting for us to learn. So we continued with that research. So one thing we realized that they like to play.
and they like to express themselves.
They like to make their own rules.
And they like to play with color and images. So from our day's visit with the kids, we observe a few things. We found that kids like to break rules, obviously. They need room to express themselves. And they could get easily distracted by their surroundings. So from our research, we determined that for any device we design, the interface has to be really simple. There cannot be a lot of buttons that would distract them. And also, we need to give them room. We have to give them an application to express themselves.
And when we are doing the research, we think about what kind of device should the student have. And then by doing that, we have different size cutout of phone card given to them. We observe how they orientate it. And after the observation, we noticed that the kid interact with the phone card as a template. That's why we have template for them, which is lightweight, and the side is designed for them to feel comfortable when holding it horizontally and vertically. After the research, we start to design.
So here is our STEPS system. It contains on the upper left-hand corner 2 tablets. One tablet's for the teachers. The other tablet is for the students. With the students' tablets, the students can learn how to work individually with the tablets or to interact together. The second part of the STEPS system is the website. This website allows teachers to connect with a larger community of teachers from other schools, other cities, other districts, even other countries. Another part of the STEPS website is the bookshelf. The bookshelf is where teachers can download applications and lesson plans and send it to their tablets where they can use it within their classrooms. So we're really excited about our project. Let us take you through the day of Miss Jane Honey using STEPS.
All right, so it's the start of the day, and before Jane's class, she decides to plan out her day, her lesson plan for the day. So she goes to StepsForTeachers.com, and she logs in. She types in her username and password, and this will take her to her home page. After logging in, she can view her home page, which contains a library of her lessons that she's either created or downloaded. Here she's viewing her schedule for the day and notices she has to plan her day out. So first she's going to visit the bookshelf. Bookshelf is an online store that houses lessons created by other teachers or third-party developers. Jane can also create her own lessons through the lesson builder provided by the website. Now Jane's going to look for fun puzzles through the search engine, which allows her to filter her search results through multiple grades and multiple subjects. After that, she returns back to her home page, which she then proceeds to drag her lesson applications into her timeline. She drags alphabets, a number activity, and a matching shapes activity. Once happy with her lesson plan, she then syncs her lesson plan to her tablet. Keep going.
Sorry, this might take a few minutes. So it's now 8 a.m. and Jane is ready to begin her class. So she's standing in front of her classroom and she's booting up her tablet. I'm going to show you in a minute what the interface looks like on her tablet. Sorry about that. So could you please choose to the overhead projector? OK. So this is the start screen of Jane's tablet. So Jane would start her day by pressing the lesson icon. So the main interface loads up. On the top, you can see the timeline that was synced up from the website. In the middle is the main content area. So Jane begins her day by taking attendance. So she calls out Amir. Amir is here, so she makes a check mark. Winnie is here, so a check mark. And then she calls out Elizabeth. She's not here, so Jane marks her absent. A text message pops in. Turns out she's sick and she won't be able to join the school today. So this shows that there's an easy connection between the parents and the teachers, and the parents can communicate any emergency issues such as this to the teacher quickly and easily. There's also a few things Jane can do before her lessons begin. For example, she can go up to the timeline and click the lesson icon and take a look at the preview of the lesson that will be coming up. She can even edit the lesson on the fly if she doesn't like what she's seeing. And also, Jane can actually update her timeline by dragging lessons from her available lessons from the bottom to the top. And obviously, this will be synced up to the website in real time. So now Jane finishes taking attendance, and she's ready to begin her first lesson.
So while Jane was preparing for her lesson, her students were playing with the tablet, with the drawing application on their tablet. And now she's ready to start her lesson. So she switches their tablet over to lesson mode. For this, now the kids are ready to start their alphabets lesson.
Now on Jane's tablet, she'll be able to see the progress of her whole class in real time. And if she wants to see individual progress of her students, she can even click in individual student and see their progress.
Through this live feed technology, she can also monitor what they're doing during the class time, so she can prevent them from doing things like surfing the internet or watching YouTube videos. She can also use this to upload applications like the drawing application and other educational things that she may want them to do. So now that, please cue back to the PowerPoint. So now it's midday, and she has a fun activity planned for her students, a fun puzzle activity. This activity uses the technology of the tablets to allow the students to form a large image together by putting their tablets together. And this kind of interaction, this fosters interaction among the students and also teaches community dynamics and also group dynamics and community among the students.
Now this is the end of the day. Jane goes back to her desk. She logged back onto step4teacher.com. In the blog, she writes about her experience with STEP. At the same time, other teachers write encouraging comment to her. After reading that, she is inspired to write more lessons.
So having been able to take you through the day of Jane at work, she was able to, from the beginning to the end, connect with the larger community where she can post about her experience with the lesson plans that she's downloaded from other teachers and modified for her own likings. And with that, we hope she would receive positive feedbacks from her fellow colleagues. So with that, Jane is empowered as a teacher, and through STEPS, feels comfortable with sharing her knowledge. So again, what is STEPS really for? It's for students to be caught up to today's technology where they can learn individually or together with tablets. They're able to also play and express themselves. STEPS is for teachers as well. They're the ones that are going to be planning the classes. They can through STEPS, they can work in real time with the students. They can feel comfortable with sharing their knowledge with the other teachers, and they can build their own lesson plans. And in the end, parents can feel comfortable with knowing that their kids are getting the education that they deserve. We're going to be, if you're more interested, we're going to have Learning by Steps, which we're going to launch at the Demo Fest for tomorrow. Also, there's a process book that's more in depth with how we came about with our solutions. Thank you.
Hello. Hi, I'm Rob. Excellent work, guys. Just really, really exciting project. You've took on a really huge scope, and there's always danger with that kind of scope that you'll just get lost. But the scenario kept it, focusing on the teacher's day in the life. The scenario story kept what you did really coherent, and kudos for doing the live demo. I mean, just like that is ridiculously hard to do. Well done. So I really thought that the whole community discussion that the teachers are having with other teachers is just a great take on the whole service meets social experience. I think there's lots of other opportunities that I'm probably sure you've explored with the parents' relationship with the teacher and that ongoing kind of community of parents volunteering with the school and all of that, which is another opportunity for your technology. But overall, just struck by the quality of your scenario, great storytelling, obviously a great prototype, just very compelling, very, very convincing. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, also kudos on the prototyping. It's so powerful to see something that live and the kind of things that people can do with it. The one little nugget that you had in there that just floored me as a game changer was the teacher's slate or the teacher's tablet, when she could see all the kids working at once, imagining her walking through the room, actually being able to track all of the students' progress, and then being able to highlight which ones need a little bit of help in going in. That's such a hard thing to do in classrooms, especially as the classroom sizes are getting bigger and bigger, as you guys would know, in California, right? So that kind of thinking, I think, really changes how you think about this system and where technology can really help. I guess one of the questions that I've got for you guys is, so you kind of talked about the newer teachers and then the old school teachers, and there's the competition between them now. That was a really interesting insight. How do you help the older school teachers get more used to the technology? Are they going to be as interested in trying it out? Because one of the things I learned in doing some of the education programs I've done in Chicago is if the teachers feel stupid using something, they won't use it. The kids won't get access to it. So how did you guys think about making this accessible to the teachers that might not be as comfortable with technology?
I think after the teachers start using it, the new teachers start using it, they will see the result and the progress they did. And then because by uploading the lessons to the bookshelf, they also earn money at the same time. They get profit. So I think when more people use the STEP system, they are willing to try.
We try to design the interface to be easy to use. And obviously, training can also be provided to whoever needs help. And I think, with the new technology, iPad coming out, and people who are older are starting to use this kind of technology, I think, the older generation will be more comfortable in embracing this kind of new type of technology.
Same as what these guys said. Fantastic job. I really like that you got out in the field, talked to students and teachers. Kevin, I like the personal touch with just getting your mom engaged in that. And I'm sure once she saw this, she very much would like it. I'm sure you guys probably should go back and actually, if you haven't already, go demo it to teachers and students just to have that satisfaction of having them see it. Well done on the interactive prototype. Just as a personal story for a minute, back in 1990, so long time ago. When I was working in Santa Barbara, I would go down to Art Center and teach a class in interface design. And I always imagined this being what the students would do. But I'm here to tell you that the 5 of you are the first in 20 years that have managed to accomplish what I envisioned Art Center students doing in 20 years. This is really, really fabulous. Nice job.
Thank you.